All right, photo. I am back here to show you another technique that I learned from Chuck Anderson. Okay, and like I specified before, is that if you do any of his techniques, the first step that you need to do is create a new empty layer. Okay, so on the right here, I'm going to look for the box with the plus in it and select new layer. Okay, so you got to do that before anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the paintbrush, and I am going to make sure that the brush is set to it's very soft, so 0 hardness. And I'm going to pick a very vivid color, and I'm going to pick a side like this, okay? And what I'm going to do is make sure that layer 2 is selected, that empty layer, and I'm just going to click and make a glow. Okay, now I'm going to go over to Gaussian blur, and I'm going to blur that out. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and then I'm going to come back to my brush, and I'm going to change it to white, and I'm going to change the hardness a little bit, and I'm going to make this even smaller. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to try to make a white dot in the middle of that. Okay, and I'm happy with that. Okay, so I have a star. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that star, and I'm going to move it, and then I'm going to transform it to be even smaller. Okay, and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to duplicate it, because stars are never like the same size. So I'm going to make it even smaller. I'm going to zoom in so I can make it smaller. Okay, and any of these two, I could go back and maybe I wanted to blur them a little bit more. I can blur them more if I want to. Okay, the other thing I could do is I could go to properties, and I can go to opacity, and I could change, how bright it is, and I can also change the blending mode of it. Maybe I want to try and multiply or color burn or see kind of how it interacts. Ooh, I kind of like lighten. Okay, so that's the other thing. What's the other thing? I can make I could duplicate a layer. Okay, and maybe I'm going to make this one bigger just so you can see what I'm doing. But after I duplicate a layer, I could also go to add clipped adjustments, go to Hue Saturation. Maybe I want to change the color of the glow to like a green. Okay, so that's also an option. Okay, so that is how we do stars that are inspired by Chuck Anderson's work. Again, if you want to look at some of his work, so some like he did this ESPN layout magazine, we can see these little stars like with the streaks, and that's how he did that technique. Okay, and now you can do it too.